Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back to our episode of Each One Teach One. This is, again, I always say Each One Teach One is my favorite episode because it gives me an opportunity. You see me toggling between screens. I have Instagram here, I have Spotify here, and I have YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook here. So I'm like looking. But anyway, I wanted to say that it is such a pleasure to do Each One Teach One. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. um, so basically, for years and years and years, I was going through issues with my feet. And I was like, why do my feet hurt so much when I walk? Or after I take a long walk. Like I was in New York, and in New York, we would walk and walk. You walk and walk and walk and walk. And I remember going and buying several pairs of shoes, trying to just find some type of comfort. Come here. I know I heard you eating, so there we go. You can sit here and just relax. Good girl, Blue Blue. Um, Trying to buy several pair of shoes, trying to just find some comfort for my feet. And years prior to that, I was in San Francisco, same thing. Come to find out, well, at the time, I thought it was plantar fasciitis. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the difference between all of these, but I thought it was plantar fasciitis. So for years, one of the things that bothered me was the doctor that I went to, instead of him like looking into it, he just decided, okay, well, I'm gonna treat you for plantar fasciitis. So he starts treating me for plantar fasciitis, and um, I couldn't figure out. I was still having the same problem. At night, I would sit on my bed, and my left foot would just tingle and throb and tingle and throb. And at the time, it wasn't numb, but since then, it's gone numb. I can feel stuff, but I'm saying it just feels numb a lot. So anyway, for many people who have plantar fasciitis, if you don't know, um, it's commonly referred to as plantar fasciitis, but it's an inflammation of the plantar and the fascia, and the back of your Achilles will get really really tense and tight because the muscle from the Achilles into the plantar's fat into the fascia connect, and so the fascia is like where your arch should be, and so it gets really 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 tight. It's like it causes heel pain. It's typically located under the underside of your heel, and it's associated behind it, so it comes up down under the heel, and it can go on down into the bottom of the pain. Heel pain is mostly caused by the strain of the plantar fascia, um, or the main ligament of the bottom of the foot, which is where I was talking about in the bridge of the foot. So that's why it's commonly referred to as plantar fasciitis, because of the inflammation of the plantar fascia. But anyway, so then he put me on this pill called meloxicam, and meloxicam really did help the plantar fascia, or well, it really helped the pain. Matter of fact, it knocked me out, and I couldn't feel nothing, but it went straight towards the foot area. So then that didn't do. I had a bunion to the right of my foot, and the bunion to the right of my foot, it would throb and throb and throb also. And a nicer way to put bunion is lapioplasty. So lapioplasty is the procedure that they actually use to correct the bunion and fix the bunion on your foot. And the bunion is that big bulb, for those of you that don't know, that bulge out on the side of your big toe from wearing high heel shoes or pointy toe shoes back in the day, or whatever that you wear now. Maybe a lot of people don't get it because they might not wear pointy toe shoes, but for those who wore pointy-toed shoes, you would have had or suffered possibly these bunions. So lapioplasty is now a new procedure that here, you want to sit there with her? Please do. Please. Thank you, Jesus. Please. Thank you. It is a procedure that they use, that, but it's the root. Well, first of all, it corrects the root cause and corrects only the bunion, but it's not the root cause of the bunion. Okay. So it corrects it, but it doesn't prevent it from happening again. Basically, you just have to be solid with your shoes. It strengthens three dimensions of alignments on the metatarsal bone. And first, it corrects the sideways lean of the metatarsal bone, because the bunion will be right here and it'll make your toe lean towards your second toe and they'll touch. So I was having that problem. And then lastly but not leastly, and we're going to go over these in more detail in a minute, but I'm getting to for you to tell you what the hell was going on with me. Y'all, come to find out, I go to this doctor, and I love Dr. Augusta at West Coast Foot and Ankle here in Long Beach, and he also works out in Orange County. Dr. Augusta in West Coast Foot and Ankle. I'm gonna say it one more time because he looked at my toe and he was like, boom. So he was like, my toe. Um, First of all, I have a flat foot, and if most of you saw the picture that I used on and I'll put it on Instagram, but the picture that I used on YouTube to post this show today was my actual x-ray, and you saw how flat my foot was, and you could also see the bunion. And then there's a second picture that shows my foot after the surgery, which is what I have gone through. Monday I had my surgery and have my little boot on right now. And I usually keep it elevated, so as soon as we get done, and I might be rushing a little bit because I'm going to run to the grocery store and get my chocolate covered peanuts clusters. I'm so mad I ran out because I've been sitting here having my little snacks. But anyway, you could see where he took the bunion off because they shave it off. But that's why it's going to take 3 to 4 months for me to be in my shoe and me to be on my scooter, because basically it takes 3 to 4 months to heal from that surgery, right? That's crazy, right? I know. But anyway, I'm good as long as I can get around, and I've been getting around, honey. So he goes, there's different types of arthritis. He said, but you have arthritis in your toe. He was like, you see how flat your foot is? He goes, and when I put um my fist in the arch of your foot where you should have an arch, it relaxes your toes. Even when I do it, like if I go like this and I do it like that, this is how it did. It relaxed the fingers, and it made my toe move up and down like this, my big toe. But if he took his hand out, my big toe only went like this. It had no mobility at all. So he goes in and he fixes the arthritis by doing what they call a bone fusion. So they use particles of some type of, I guess it's synthetic. I don't know, but he said it becomes your bone. It's like something like a material that's like bone, and eventually it fuses into your bone and becomes your bone. So that's why it's called a bone fusion. You never have any more pain after it's healed, and you don't have to go back in and do anything. They have several other procedures, like some people may select. They can put a titanium screw in there. However, the only thing about that is as it heals, it creates a space in between the bone itself and the bone that they scrape, and they shorten it somehow. Um, my foot is hurting. Sorry, guys. Anyway, but what happens with the titanium screw is that they have to go back in and take it out, and then I don't know if they might feel it with something. But I was like, forget that. Just give me one and done. So I don't know why anybody wouldn't pick the fusion. And then there's a third one that works with some other stuff. I can't even put my foot up, but I'm gonna get through this, and then I'm gonna get off so that I can get my foot lifted because it hurts. And I be doing too much. I know I do. My neighbor, who's my friend, she's like, I caught you, because one day I had to go on Wednesday. I was laid up here on my oxycodone, and I called the doctor's office, and I was like, they told me I didn't have to come till next week. Am I coming in today? And they're like, yes. I was like, oh crap. It was like 9 a.m. and I had to be there at 10. Thankfully, it's not far. So I get up and get showered and get everything done or whatever. And that's the other thing. When you shower, you have to leave I had to leave my foot out of the shower. But when I go back this time, he bandaged it. And now it's an ace bandage, and I can just take it off, and I don't have to use gauze or anything. I just put a sock on and wrap the ace bandage around it. So, because the objective is to keep it straight, not straight, but keep it taut so it doesn't move. Okay. So anyway, I had this anti-inflammatory form of arthritis that is linked with um, I guess it's more like an inflammation disease caused by the body's immune system attacking your joint tissue. So I more have rheumatoid arthritis. And over time, the joint tissue damage can cause pain and joint shape changes. So that's rheumatoid arthritis in my big toe. And the RA commonly affects the hands, wrists, and knees. But in my case, it affected my toe. So, anywho, if that's all I have and I don't ever have to go through anything else, thank you, Jesus. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just thankful that at this point they have they figured it out, and that's been. I'm gonna tell y'all, this is why. So let me tell you, in the South, the doctors talk about how they really aren't as proactive because the patients in the South, just from what they said, not my opinion, the patients that live in the South are not proactive with their health care. So they don't go all in and try to make sure that they give them everything they're supposed to have. And I think that's a ass way of looking at things. If you're a doctor, do your damn best to make sure that your patient is healed or that whatever. But like you just gonna tell me because I'm very inquisitive, and even before I started the podcast, I was asking questions, and I guess some of y'all scared to come on my podcast because I want you to answer some questions, but nobody's coming, so I'm doing it, and I ain't gonna be mad about it. But it is what it is. The point that I'm getting to is I asked this doctor, I was like, well, why aren't you more proactive or whatever? And he was like, well, the reason is because the patients in this area are not proactive about their health. And it's like you're beating a dead horse. And I was like, but still, why wouldn't you be a little bit more active about their diabetes, their high blood pressure, or whatever? He said, because they don't listen. So, anyway, if that's any consolation to some of the people in the South to ship up and shape out and do what they got to do to put them in disbelief, do what you got to do what you're supposed to do. I mean, the food is good, don't get me wrong, but there's a way to make everything in a way that will help you in a healthy way. And as I mentioned, I'm on Ozempic and I still eat certain things, but sometimes I have no craving for it. Like sometimes with bread, I eat bread with seeds and flakes and stuff in it. I don't like just any kind of bread, and I have a pretty high grocery bill when I get groceries because I get really, really healthy stuff, but I usually get fruits and vegetables in it. So anyway, I only crave those things. My craving for certain things went away, even for certain meats. But I eat meat, but it's based on a craving, and it's not always there. Um, Most of the time, I like fish or something like that. Um, but I don't know. It's just hard to explain. But my point is, in the South, if you are in the South, you have diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, any of those things that could be potentially kill you from stroke or heart disease, whatever. Please regulate yourself. Okay. Get yourself together. But with that being said, I was very thankful that I did go to the one doctor in the South who put me on meloxicam. I had been on meloxicam for years, and you're not supposed to take it very much because it can ruin the lining of your tummy. So anyway, when I got here into California, I decided, I'm going to the best hospital. I'm gonna pay for my own insurance. I'm not ready to be on a plan where I feel like I'm being treated like they don't care. Because I need you to know I'm paying for this, so I need you to make sure you take care of me. So I go to Cedar Sinai, number one in the nation, number two in the country, and I make sure that I get what I need from my health providers. And this particular doctor, actually, they're not even on Epic yet or electronic medical records. So I'm looking forward to working with them when they become on them. However, he's very, very good. He believes in very healthy things. Like he put me on calcium, caltrate, vitamin C, vitamin D, and multivitamin. I was already taking a multivitamin, but he and vitamin D, and I take Ozemp, no, Oxy, that thing that they do the commercial on. Uh, anyway, it's for joints and stuff. I take it and a lot of things, and I feel a lot better in a lot of ways. But with all that being said, when he diagnosed that I had arthritis in my foot, I thought I could just jump up and kiss him because I was like, I could not believe it. Now, what he did do is he wanted to see first if it was in fact what if it was going to go away or if it was too late. So he gave me these shots, kind of like cortisone, but it's something else for your foot. She gave me the shots in my foot, and Um, they helped for like a 4 to 6 month period, I believe, and then I could feel my toe going hurting again, hurting again, hurting again. So anyway, ultimately we got to the point where we was like, well, the only option is surgery, and he said with surgery, the good thing about that is it will fuse the bones together, and you won't have any pain, and it's just one and done. So Monday I had the surgery, and thank God, everything was great. He said it turned out perfect, and so that's what I wanted to share with you guys about what I'm going through. And I don't know, maybe some of you have exhibited certain things that are similar to what I've gone through with my feet. Our foot. It isn't on my right foot, just on my left, thankfully. But I just want to say that, in between the three, plantar fasciitis, arthritis, and bunions, they all hurt. And I had the arthritis and the bunion coupled together. So he actually fixed the arthritis by a bone fusion, and he scraped off the bunion. And I know it sounds gross, but that lapoplasty surgery, it's a 3D surgery, but it's stabilizing the joint so the bunion won't come back. But at the same time, the surgery fuses the sustainable joint with the metatarsal bone in your foot, which is your toe, and your your forefoot to your joint with titanium plates. That's one way. The other way is to use a material that's like bone material, which is what I selected because the titanium plate is the newest. There's a titanium screw, and then you got the material that's like a bone, and I picked the material like a bone. But because labioplasty surgery is new, there isn't a lot of long-term data, but data from multiple centers show that almost 100% of the patients with the lapoplasty surgery had maintained the correction after a year, and that it's been called a paradigm shift in the industry, basically because surgeons no longer have to cut freehand. Patent instrument holds the metatarsal bone in the correct position and in all three dimensions at the same time before the surgeon could even make a cut or has to do anything with the special instrument. So it's a lot of great technology. I feel great. Um, I have kind of transitioned into Advil and acetaminophen intermittently, but it hurts. And sometimes at night now, and it's only been 4 days with 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I, I don't like taking drugs, especially substance controlling types drugs like oxycodone, um, because I want to say that it has some type of morphine in it or something like morphine because it makes you sweat to get it out of your body and it makes me itch and I hate that. So I wean myself off and I'll take 5 Tylenol because it's 1,000 milligrams of acetaminophen and it helps with the pain, but it doesn't give me the codeine. And then in between that, I'll take a couple of gel Advil in like if I have to within it. If I have to take something before the 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours is up because each medicine is 4 to 6 hours. So I don't do more than that. Now at night, if I'm laying there and I'm having some pain because I have been up moving around more than I should with my boot on, and the boot you're supposed to walk on your heel, and I do walk on my heel, but you can't help but sometimes your foot's going to touch the ground. But with that being said, even now I feel a little sleepy because it's like I don't know what the medicine does after a while, but it kind of puts me back into a mode where I need to go to sleep. Part of that is because sleeping helps you heal, and it's just your body telling you to go and relax. But I wanted to teach you a little bit about the difference between the arthritis, plantar fasciitis, and the bunions, and how important it is that if you're experiencing these pains, don't be afraid. Go to the right specialist to get the right information so that you can get the right procedure. Okay. This is so important. You can book an appointment online. If you go online and you look up lapoplasty, and y'all do know that if you don't know how to spell something, Google will correct you. But lapoplasty is spelled Lapiplasty. Lapoplasty. Okay. So you can look that up and it will give you an 800 number to go to a specialist. Um, if you are in the Long Beach area, hey, Go to Dr. Augustine at West Coast Foot and Ankle, and there's South Coast Foot and Ankle. It's a lot. So look it up, you guys. You got to do what you got to do, and you got to take care of you, and you. Okay? So I'm over and I'm out on this segment of Each One Teach One. I hope I gave you a little bit of information. And if you come on back, I'm going to wrap it up with Rep Your City. And the city is Florence, Tuscany in Italy. Ooh, my goodness, I can't wait to go to Italy. Give me some pasta, homemade pasta. I miss homemade pasta. Anyway, we'll be back in just a minute. Thank you for tuning in, guys.